Quan, and like they kind of had the history of like the Cobra Kai and like more of like Kim and like her students, and like somehow like nothing that happened to Kreese actually happened to Kreese because like it was just a whole lot of like they could have split it up because I think you need this to be a long season, but I wouldn't have done 3 parts. I would have just done 2. So
yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's like this season is just nothing really happened for some reason. It's like they're building up to this Trikage and it ends up nothing. Just nothing.
Yeah, and it's like we're already done with like part 2, and it's like we didn't even get the semifinals done because of what happens at the end, which we'll talk about.
I did like in part 2 the hit, like because Daniel was so annoying, but him figuring out that Mr. Miyagi like killed somebody and he actually did it. Like and like basically still stop talking about like it's not the Miyagi though way. Like it's a meme where it's all like, but it's not Mr. Miyagi wouldn't want you to do that. Like Mr. Miyagi wouldn't want you to do that or something like that. But it's like Mr. Miyagi actually like when he fought and it killed somebody by accident. So it's like
it's not the Jedi way.
Which is like accident happens, I guess.
Yeah, and my whole thing about the Miyagi thing is like it's a little weird for me because like I don't know. It felt like it kept going on and on based on whether so if we were just gonna say he's a good man who had a dark past, we kind of got the point already, or it's like he's actually a really bad person, and which would probably like butcher his character. But the thing is, like, we're kind of like done with like part 2, and that's kind of been like I don't know. It's just like it feels like Danny just had to go off and do something so that he's not there all the time. That kind of thing.
No, it's so weird because I was watching this. I was like, oh please, can you stop having so stupid dramas and stuff?
I will say, I kind of just saw the Mr. Miyagi character. Like I don't know if you remember from season 1 of Arrow, the guy that taught Oliver on the island, the guy that was a part of like so he was a military guy and he knew all that stuff. Like the guy that taught him. I just kind of saw Mr. Miyagi more in that realm where. Mm-hmm. He's like extremely lethal, but he teaches like LaRusso like basically it's what I think they were trying to do is like Mr. Miyagi was like what is his name? Johnny. And you know how Johnny took like a bruised and battered kid and like taught him how to fight?
Yeah.
That's basically what Mr. Miyagi was. Mr. Miyagi, like he fought in the Sekai Taikai. He was like the #1 student or whatever, his karate, and he killed somebody. So he must like Johnny Lawrence's thing was like, I'm a 40-year-old. I have nothing going in my life. I don't have a relationship with my son, this, that, and the third. I need to give back. And how I give back is like teaching kids how to protect themselves. Like, I guess Mr. Miyagi's a lot of process is like, oh, I'm probably a big shot karate kid because, you know, he was a teenager at the time. And he just accidentally killed somebody. So I think Mr. And Daniel LaRusso was like, damn, Mr. Miyagi is more like, what is it? Not right. Fuck, what was his name, bro?
Hi, DeFrosted. It's good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to. Mr. Miyagi is more like Johnny and less like Daniel. Like where he's like I think that's what they're trying to get at. So.
Yeah, I know. Like they've already confirmed like another film. I think with Daniel, like another Karate Kid film is coming out.
Wasn't it also like Jackie Chan or something like that? Too?
Yeah, he's also in the movie as well.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah. Before we continue on, another Reviews Corp podcast, episode 51. We talked about Cobra Kai season 6, part 1 a little bit earlier when whenever that season came out. It was like a few months ago.
It was in July or something.
July, yeah. So Unity and I just did that together, and we're back here again with my friend IRL Shaq from the Trikage channel. What's up, Shaq?
Sir. We just did it recently. We did a stream on Kendrick Lamar's surprise drop, so go check that out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And what did you think about part 1?
Part 1 was really just a bunch of exposition setting up this grand tournament. Like, obviously, like I think the best character in part 1 was definitely Tori. Like, I also have a theory that Kreese ended up killing Tori's mom to basically have her come back to Cobra Kai because her only like that was like her thing in life was like looking out for her mom and Kreese is her only like what is it not like fatherly or maternal like guardian type of thing. So
Right.
And then like that break where Johnny knew exactly what she was going through because Johnny had went through it himself and then Daniel didn't really understand like why she was fighting, but it's like she like basically she was trying to because she had a lot of like mixed up energy and she needed to get it out in a constructive way, and like doing that in karate is better than like her committing a crime because she's like she was like in juvie and stuff like that beforehand. So I just thought like and seeing her like break in the middle of the fight when they're choosing the captains and like I just thought that was like I think she was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely the strongest part of part 1.
I think Kreese did. Again, maybe her mom OD'd or died, but like it was just I don't know. It was just it was a little too crazy. That's my rumor. I don't know if it actually happened. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I think it was just natural causes. I think my whole thing about both parts in general is just that I mean it's kind of true for like everything from what I understand about Cobra Kai. It's like, oh, it's like crime. What is that? You go to jail, you get out of there soon. So especially regarding with Kreese and Silver.
It's so weird because it's like there's like the entire arc in season 3 that's season 3 that Robbie got to prison. So it's like it's so weird. It's like, oh, by the way, lost on bullshit now. Oh well.
Yeah. I think the only reason I think a lot like this is another thing because I was arguing with people on TikTok whether the Cobra Kai show is fake or not. Like Kreese being caught on camera and whatever doing crazy ass shit doesn't go to jail. I understand he's rich. Maybe that's a commentary of how rich people get out of jail. Kreese going to jail and he's like because in the original Cobra Kai, in the original like Karate Kid, he's like in his 30s. He's 70, and we've seen that strength. Because when Robbie went to jail, we seen that strength and like the hoodlum type thing. Like because what is his name? Kenny's brother was like on par with Robbie, and Robbie had been training for like years. So there's no way you could tell me. I know Kreese could have way more knowledge or whatever. He's fucking 70. There's no way you could tell me that Kreese can fight a jail gang. I think one of them had a shank too, and basically bitch the prison and then proceed to like escape. The only thing we really got from that was like more on like his backstory when he was talking to the shrink. There's a lot of unrealistic shit that a lot of the Cobra Kai fans don't want to like actually see that happens in the show. Like this shit just shouldn't happen. Like this shit is like unrealistic. So
no, it's I mean I'll just like just let Kreese be whatever. Just like don't have him like please a bunch of stuff. Just have him just like I'm gonna train you the way. Instead, the entire 5 episodes is just like, hey, I just gotta do a bunch of backstabbing for some reason. Yeah, so I just got tired.
What do y'all think about Sensei Kim? Because they kind of went into more in her backstory, how she met Kreese and Silver, and like how we had like a dialogue between her and Tori asked like, was it worth it? And this like being the best because like I guess she's assuming that she's the greatest female martial artist in the world or something like that, and like she says it is, but like you obviously know Kim doesn't like that. We see like through her relationship with Chosen that
honestly I thought
it wasn't a joke. Chosen basically
the whole thing with Chosen just kind of made her a little bit more charming at that point because otherwise she was like a little bit too stoic, no nonsense kind of a thing, and then having like her hair down and like putting sand out of her clothes, that's crazy.
And it's like funny because her like experiencing love actually made her understand Tori more because for the longest time it was like, get that boy out your head, he's gonna mess with you, he's messing with your confidence, this, that, and the third. But then she's like, but her being a woman, she's like, damn, these emotions that we feel for these people are real. And then she's like channel that like anger and have him feel everything you feel. Like that was like I think like she upgraded her teaching style because probably she was taught from her grandfather who like was like no mercy, no emotion, that type of thing. So I thought that was good. So
yeah, it depends because there's like I get the idea of payoff. I just think her hooking up with Chosen is way too fast. I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, they may kind of chosen a joke because he was meeting with the other girl in Japan, and then he went to the house, and there was the dude there with his shirt off, and he was like, he went to the Sekai Taikai drunk or something like that.
He was so drunk and angry that he was fighting every single orchid.
They ruined Chosen as a character. I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
I thought he's not gonna come back after like part 1, and then he just bring him back. I was like, you know what? Let's just bring Hilary Shank back by this point.
Yeah, once he got out of that, and like once he was like, I guess like when Kim like set him straight, quote unquote, then it's like I think he went back to normal. But like that first initial where he was drunk and like raging and all that stuff, that was a bit unneeded.
Yeah.
But I also get like, yeah, because like the way they had it for part 1, it just seemed like they were going to let him go for a while, but then he comes back like 2 episodes later or something like that.
He was basically just there for, I think, comedic relief, and then like he gives like the quips, like the binary thrills are back. Like he just gives like quips and shit. And there was the thing where he's fighting the goons at like the bar or something with Kim, and they kind of like flirt, and then he leaves on the scooter. Like he's really just there for like comedic relief. Like obviously, get your check, get a check, right? But I wouldn't want my character to just be a comedy relief. Like, I wouldn't want my character to just be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Hey, I mean, Chosen used to be awesome, and now they just make him like a joke. I was like, oh, just shut up, just get out.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of my take for like the adult characters in general. Before we start talking about the Miyagi-Do characters and all the other kid characters, I just felt like with this particular part in the adults were just like every single issue was like up to the max. Like I know it's like, you know, there's like some level of drama and dramaticism and all that stuff, but like I felt like all of the characters, like there was like really no set of growth, or things are like so petty, or like things that just don't, like, again, like the whole like looking for Miyagi thing. Oh, I read a document that says I knew your master, and he immediately goes out to go look for that. So that's, I mean, anybody can type up a piece of paper and like print something like that, and it's like, yeah, you got, I mean, he did go through the consequence of like you got trapped in a dog cage, but like that was still pretty stupid.
But I think it was,
and then at least the silver thing like was in a documentation, like it actually has like a record from that year, Miyagi's name, and then he can go to the, you know, the person to authenticate, is this like real or is it fake or something like that. At least like that's like more reasonable.
Yeah. The Frostbot, Johnny and Miguel have been the best characters since like season 3, bro. Like I don't even know how that's like even a debatable thing. Like even like the whole thing with Miguel finding his father, like Johnny's been the realest. Like he's been the most like obviously he's like got his own little quirks and shit where it's like this isn't real, but it's like Johnny understanding what Tori was going through. Johnny understanding how Devin feels like being the youngest to karate, because you remember how she was consoling Devin and he's like, I'll give you a fair shot. Like just because Tori and whatever are have been here longer doesn't mean you don't have a shot. Like I feel like Johnny has always been like the best sensei. Like which is it's funny because like Daniel's like too stuck in his ways, which call it Kreese and Kim up until this point were extreme. Johnny's always been an amazing sensei to me. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and like honestly, I want to get to like Devin and the other kid characters afterwards, but like what I did like about that scene in particular with Johnny is that I do feel like, you know, it is tough. Like the guilt was like eating her alive and all that stuff, especially with what happened with Kenny. She's losing like really badly on the field, so it's like,
so now she thinks I don't even deserve, like I took this spot from Kenny. He should be here. I don't even deserve to be here. And then Kenny is honestly, I understand Kenny because it's like this dude been fucking. He thought it was what is it, LaRusso or Lapusso. He thought it was Lapusso that did that shit to him. So he's all like, yeah. So I obviously understand like what you call it. Kenny, like, all right, we're gonna get to Kenny. We're gonna get because when we talk about Kenny, we're gonna talk about how much of a bitch Dimitri has become.
So before we get to that, I do want to say, like, The only thing I found weird, so like again, I like the conversation between Johnny and Miguel on the plane. I also like the resolution of where this drunk rich guy was like really annoying. And then Miguel is the one that punches him in the face in the end. I do like that idea and stuff like that. What I don't really like is that how we got to this point, only because like, so first off, that Miguel 2-on-1 versus fight against the Irish guys, that was dope. That was probably that was the best fight, I would say, overall for this part. But
when Robbie locked in against Quan and he hit that pop up.
Yeah. But my thing about the Quan versus Robbie fight is like it just became too one sided that Robbie was clearly better. And especially with how much, especially because of your name, what you named yourself, Shaq. Yeah, it's like Quan got gassed up so much and then all that for like not really being
and we're gonna talk about it because the power scaling in this shit, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to this, but like it really don't make sense because we see in the little talk out tournament, we see like Dimitri, who's been asked the entire tournament, throw hands with Yoon. Yoon was the pupil before Quan beat Yoon, right? Yoon is still number 2. Yoon is still very good. Dimitri, you've been asked the entire shit. You don't even want to be here. Now, I know, obviously, you didn't have your best buddy. You didn't have your binary, bro. You shouldn't be able to fight with him. At least Hawk wants to be there. And then, like, obviously, they tag teamed him and tired him out. But Yoon should have walked Dimitri down. Dimitri is so annoying, bro. I don't know, but...
Yeah. And I do want to get to Dimitri a little bit later because I do understand that there is like a bit of a...
Are you going to MIT, though? Like...
No, there's like this entire thing is just like, hey, we talk about going to MIT together. It's like, and then he doesn't. I was like, okay, wait, what is the entire conflict? I mean, you promised a lot of stuff in your childhood. You just didn't commit to it.
So the entire conflict, from understanding Uni, is when they were both losers. When Dimitri and Hawk were both losers, or Eli, their dream when they were the binary bros, they were like, we're gonna go to MIT. We're gonna make big money. We're gonna be like cool robotic nerds, whatever. Hawk, obviously, his shit is changing, but Dimitri is still like the nerd. He's just the nerd that kind of got cool because, you know, he got a girlfriend now. He got a girlfriend that likes him for him. So it's
who's like way out of his league, by the way. But I'm going to leave that alone.
And then we're going to talk about him cheating on her.
It's crazy, but yeah, we'll get to that.
I'm chilling. But like, so like, basically, Dimitri still said the same, which is fine. But like, also Hawk changed as an individual. He's like, maybe I want to go try to do martial arts out of college. Maybe I want to school with a car. Like, and Dimitri doesn't understand that the fact that you could MIT is still great for you, but other people want other things. And for friends, you support me. So if I don't want to go to MIT, if I want to go to like the UFC or some shit, right? You should support me because if you're gonna do like some robotics presentation at MIT, I'm pretty sure Hawk will show up because he doesn't have no beef with him. It's just that's why Dimitri just doesn't make sense because he started out as like the most like a senseful or like person like with the most common sense, and then now it's like you just became an asshole. Like also how he treated Kenny,
also because he used to be like the one that got bullied a lot in his original introduction. So it's like he's just doing it back to other people and not even realizing it.
Yeah. And then we're going to talk about it, like how he treated Kenny. Like, you can't just ask what the fuck happened instead of thinking, oh, Kenny's going to set us up. Oh, what's wrong? Like, you can't just ask, oh, Kenny, why are you here? Oh, I'm summoning for Devin.
I mean, if they say like, oh, if they ask Kenny, was like, wait, why are you here? Was like, he'll just say, well, Johnny told me to get here because we need a replacement.
And we need a replacement. And it would have been simple. It's like, and he asked, why do you need a replacement? Oh, because you know when I shit myself when everybody saw that, Devin cheated. And Devin is fine with telling, because Devin is cool with that, right? Devin obviously knows she's out of her realm, because Devin really hasn't had a good fight in the tournament. She knows she's out of her depth. So it's like, oh yeah, I cheated, or what you call it, and upset his stomach so Kenny wouldn't be here. Like now obviously Kenny we're gonna talk about Kenny, like still coming through, not falling for Silver's tricks and actually like putting on work. Because Kenny had the 2-on-1. But
it's possible. I just think that it's too much of a leap for that. Especially he just got there. Like just got there.
My whole thing is like
the weird thing is like the pacing is also it can be fast in some things and really slow in other things. So it's like that's an overall season problem.
My thing is, why don't you just fucking ask him why you're here, bro? Because they all saw you shit yourself. So if I say that, oh, like it's not hard. Like so if just ask me. oh, so why is Devin getting subbed out? And it's all like, because Devin actually shouldn't be here because she cheated, but we're cool because Kenny was cool with Devin. So Kenny is cool with Devin, who originally took his spot and embarrassed him. You think he wouldn't be cool with Dimitri and Hawk if they just asked him what happened and he explains it? You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make any sense.
But I just wanted to say this point before I forget about it. So what I was saying about I like the interaction with Miguel and Johnny in the plane. My issue is just like the fact that after that fight happens, then he has to go home because his mom could die from
the childbirth. Yeah,
from the childbirth. Then they fly all the way back, go there, everything is fine. Then they have to go all the way back. It's like it was just kind of a weird way. If that was the way to bring, it just seemed like all that was mainly just for Kenny to be in the tournament now, which is like, I'm sure there's a better way to do that.
No, there probably is a better way to do that, but you have to think about it. Like,
yeah.
I knew they were setting up Kenny because you remember in the first part where him and his brother were fighting them, and they were like, "You don't want to do this," and this, that, and the third, and then Kenny got hold at the tournament. So, like, you know how bad it would be for him not to get like a resurgence, and like all the people that like Kenny are like, "Oh, well, he just shit his pants." And never went back to karate, and it's like he's not even an enemy anymore. It would just be a lack of a character because, like, you build up Kenny as this big person in what was it, season 4, right? With Robbie teaching him and shit like that. So it's like it was bad, but I understand you had to involve Kenny because then all the stuff that happened in the first.
See, this part is fine. This part is fine. I'm not. My issue is more like so the fact that the fake out childbirth death didn't happen, and it's like, oh, I'm actually fine, you can go back. It's like that's a little bit too much. It's like I would have at least preferred maybe she's going into labor, she's about to give birth to the child, and maybe Johnny wants to go back because he doesn't feel like he should miss the birth of his child or something like that. Like that's at least a little bit more, like at least that's a reason to bring him back. It's like but again, it's a fake out death, but then the death doesn't happen and then they go back anyway. It's just that's a lot.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't. What the fuck is what's the rules of a Trikage Kai? It was like you can just randomly tag people in and out of tournaments. You can just do that. If that's the case, every single dojo should be taking advantage of it. Literally, just tag. If someone's injured, just tag him out and just tag someone who's clearly healthy back to the tournament. It's like the problem with Cars Free was like there's like a really flimsy rules, so they just tag people in and out. When in reality, if there's a rule like that, every single team will be literally just tagging people in and out.
Yeah, I mean, well, also they had to make it through Miguel's heroics to make it even to that part to where it would matter. So, also Defrost pointed out, he said that Carmen told them to go back. So like it was.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying like. The fact
I know that's like dumb. Like I almost died, but I want you because like I guess she understands like
because you got to think in the context like they have to fly all the way back. It takes about a day and a half to go back to California. Then they have to go all the way back, another day and a half to do that. It's a lot. It's a lot in little time is what I mean. But yeah. But again, it's like I still appreciate the scenes for the conversations, and I appreciate because like that rich guy was being annoying and he got what he deserved. But yeah. Do you want to talk about the villain side, like Kreese and Silver now, or do you want to say that?
So I mean, we can. Kreese, like Kreese just being a dickhead. Like Kreese just being a dickhead. Terry being in the. You remember the Terry jacuzzi scene, which is like synonymous with like when he was introduced in a little Karate Kid as a villain. I think that was great. Kreese just like still having money and like finding the dojo teacher just in a fight club where he like killed a man with like some exploding kick cart technique or some shit like that. That I guess, and it also makes sense because when Sam saw Sensei Wolf put hands on Axel because Axel messed something up. Like it just shows you that like Terry Silver, like, which is funny because he didn't even want to come back to karate. But then he got pushed into it, so yeah.
I don't even know what to say about Kreese and Terry because like okay, here's how they got out of jail. There's like Kreese's skills is like what? He has a PTSD, so all his charges are dropped. What the fuck? Like how many years is that? How many years ago is that? And the fact you actually not you don't. This is not even like an immediate situation. You literally plan out this escape. You fake the blood. You assault a lot of people. You take their costumes and leave, and you fly to fucking Barcelona for this.
I mean, well, technically, they went to Korea. He went to Korea first to like. He's like, oh, we need our female champion. We need our male champion like this. So he kind of like hit out there with them. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like being unrealistic. How again, a 70-year-old man who's a convicted felon escapes jail, and then is able to get a plane to South Korea where I guess nobody's looking for him. So it's like, yeah. But like the Silver shit makes a little bit more sense because it's like the Silver had like amazing lawyers, so he just never went to jail. Which they had hard evidence on him, right? But he just never went to jail, which is funny. So
he's got to put all his financial propriety into dojos only.
Like Terry is like, oh, but you see the witnesses are bad, and there's like no evidence. I was like, dude, there's security cameras for this.
There's legit footage of him being, yeah.
I mean, it's like, and there's the fact there's a lot of people who literally listen to like Stingray's testimony, or like even Tori was there.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, what is Terry's plan again? He just got buy another dojo just to beat Cobra Kai.
He wants to just push his influence, but he doesn't like. So I think like Terry just basically is like another huge corporation like Walmart or something like they just want to push his influence. Like, so not necessarily like away or martial arts style. So like before it was through Cobra Kai, he would push his influence. So now it doesn't really matter who he pushes. He just wants to push his influence by doing the best. And you see like he has Zara, like we see through the captains. Axel's like the unbeaten champion, right? Zara is like the social media darling who's pretty or whatever, and like has these sponsorship and this sponsorship. So like they're influencing in their own way because you have the one that's good. And you kind of have like the Conor McGregor-ass one was like, oh, we want her to lose or this, that, and the third. So it's like I think Silver's just trying to push his influence. And he doesn't really matter. Like he's doing it through karate, which you could do it in so many ways. He become a politician. I don't know what the fuck he's doing it through karate. Like he was trying to become a politician. But I think that's like what Silver's plan is, to push his own influence, which it is what it is.
I mean, it's like, I was like, dude, you failed once already. Do you want to do the same plan again? Well, this is so stupid, guys. Terry, what the fuck?
I guess he could say like, because
that is like great level pettiness. I'm not.
Yeah. I think it is
I'm
pettiness.
Sure Kareem is that kind of hater. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think, Shaq?
No, I think that is pettiness. Like because my ops have dojos, I need to have a dojo. But I guess also from a logistical point, because these dojos get like the kids that are like beat up and this, that, and the third. So if I can influence the next generation, I can get like control the world type thing, I guess. But again, you could do something else. Like you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a dojo, but
yeah. And my whole thing is like, and I guess like after this unity, then I'll let you also go as well. My other thing about like especially the Johnny and Danny arguments stuff, it's like it is just kind of like off, like, or not off, but like I just wasn't really a big fan of like they got to so much bickering and all that stuff to the point where they were about to fight on the beach. Then Miguel comes in and he's the one who has to like mediate everything, teach the grown-ups how to be like grown-ups. So it's like, I don't know, it's just like I really, and then honestly then it kind of goes even back, like they can't even, both of the senseis can't even give like a good like pep talk because they both have such a clashing idea of like how to train the kids, to the point where eventually the kids just motivate themselves.
No, Johnny ended up changing his viewpoint. He
did change, but like remember like they were in the locker room and like
I know it took them going to it, but I think that's what makes Johnny the best sensei, because like he actually listens to his students, bro. Like that's the like
yeah,
for input. You know what I'm saying? He actually listens to his students. So,
and that I don't even know what to say about Daniel, because Daniel was like, this Johnny is the one who apologized. Daniel never said sorry or something.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing he's like, he said sorry. It's like, yeah, I shouldn't be obsessed with like my master. I was like, cool. You also interrupting the entire like karate dojo, and everyone was like, it's Johnny's fault. I was like, the truth is, it's both of yours. It's the fault of both of you. You guys didn't coordinate better for yourselves. You didn't think of what to tell the kids beforehand.
Yeah.
And Unity, what we've the two of us have kind of talked a lot about like the adult characters. Was there anything else you wanted to add on?
Quan's a cartoon character. The girl, it's
Oh no. The adults. The adults.
The adults, no, Silver is just. I don't even know what to say about Silver. Silver is just a cartoon now.
My whole thing also, like, I gotta talk about the guy that's running the thing that got knocked out, bro.
Oh.
I don't know what his name is. The guy that, bro. So you have you kick people out of a tournament, which you know that they're on steroids, so they have higher testosterone and they know how to fight, and you don't have security that can stop them. You don't have armed security guards.
That was my whole thing about the
like that doesn't make any sense. We're legit in a tournament where people know how to kill. Like people have died, is blood. Like they're teenagers, so it's like they're not adults, but it's like they're like if a 16-year-old with
of course it was the Russians.
If a 16-year-old with like teaching and skills could probably kill somebody that doesn't know how to fight. Like it was like you guys don't have pepper spray. You guys don't have riot gear. I'm not even gonna say a gun. Like what are we doing, bro? Like a baton? Like no security?
No.
Okay.
No, and the fact that the entire thing is just gone because you knocked out one guest, like a few guests. I was like, no. This is like the best tournament in the entire world. There should be a lot more judges and stuff.
Yeah.
The judges are there, but there's no security. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No, it's like again, like that was my thing about episode 5. It's like it's like my whole thing about like this season in general is that I felt like a lot of it is just like there's a lot of dragging, or some of the drama is just like going on, and like I think like if you reduce the episode count or just be done by now and not have to go wait for another part in February, then it's like okay, I can at least tolerate that. But when you get to episode 5 and then you get to the brawl scene and it's okay, so I understood the brawl fight when it happened in school. It felt like it was built up naturally to get to that point. But here now, there's like, I mean, isn't that kind of like a meme now? Like, there's a brawl like in every season or something like after that. But yeah, here it's like the Sekai Takai, the one of the largest thing, and it's like it's also being broadcast live on television. Everybody can see on the TV. First off, the cameras aren't turned off at any point. Just everybody gets to watch the brawl going on. And I don't know, it just seems kind of disrespectful because, like, isn't karate all about learning about using discipline, patience, and, like, control? No.
So I think
and all that stuff. So everybody has anger problems. To like everybody goes into like.
You gotta think about it. So like, no, that's like. So I think that's like the whole thing. Like with the Miyagi, like the Miyagi-Do way is like because the only one that's like patience, control. That thing is really Miyagi-Do. We've seen the other dojos. We've seen like.
I'm talking about like karate as like a discipline.
No,
like,
yeah, karate is. Karate.
No, but that's the thing. So they say karate, but the Brazilian people were doing capoeira. What is it? Cobra Kai, Quan shit isn't even all those kicks. That's like Taekwondo essence. Like a lot, like Zara was doing like kickboxing. Like they say karate. Like the Brazilians are legit doing capoeira. Like that is what that is. That's not karate. Like so, like
yeah, I get it.
Like they call him a Brazilian hawk or Spanish hawk with the little beads in his hair or whatever.
Yeah.
He tried to do a little way. I don't know if y'all seen that shit. Way. He was legit doing capoeira.
That's wild. Yeah. I get that. But like it's still like okay. The fight only got to happen because this Russian guy who you kicked out for having steroids is able to come back in and punch you in the face with no security guards or anything to keep you protected or to have this happen in the first place. And that's what causes this whole fight in the first place.
I mean, you also got to think about it. Like, I understand. So obviously, it's other shit. Like, I understand Zara wanting to beat up Tori, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's been chosen for everything, and the one time Robbie chooses somebody, like she's like the princess. She's never been like not chosen. And then Quan losing to Robbie and feeling like Robbie like got a cheat or feeling like Robbie doesn't deserve that. Axel Axel is legit the most annoying nigga ever. Because it's like Sam was nice to you, and yeah, you read it wrong, but that's not Miguel's fault. That's not like I wasn't even there. Why are you mad? Why are you mad at me?
And he's has to like, and like he, if anything, he should be mad because like you tried to kiss my girlfriend. It's like it's because he's just like, dude, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
It's like, and then Sarah. I don't even know what to say about Sarah and just like Axel. They didn't even do anything with Sarah. They're just like she's just like an obstacle, a wall. She's a social media influencer, and she's just mad. She doesn't have any followers, and she just try to fuck everyone. Literally, that's her character. She wants to fuck everyone.
Social media influencer. She was low key trying to be like friendly with Tori, and she like. But this is the thing. That's like again. This I don't think that. So it's Zara far toward the end, but at first, Tori legit excluded her from the group. Like excluded herself from like the group. So when Zara was trying to be friendly with her, you remember when they do that challenge, like the little kick flip challenge thing or whatever, where it's like they kick on the surfboard thing or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like Zara just made the comment that and she's looking at Robbie like, there's some cute whatever. She was trying to like girl talk her, right? There's no way for Zara to know that that's your man because you were like excluded yourself and say, we shouldn't be in a relationship right now.
So the way that it started is because like Robbie does look back at Tori specifically, and then she gets that, there's some history there. So I get it where that's coming from. I guess like my first thing is like for Zara, influencer. Also, I mean, she definitely has like all that skill though. I mean, like, because Raina Valadingham, the actress playing her, she's a 13-time Taekwondo champion. So you can definitely see that in the like you don't really see a lot of stunt work or anything like stunt actor kind of thing, but yeah, I mean, he got to the point where gets Robbie in a room. He's drunk, he can't remember anything. So but I do, and it's you put rape.
It's I don't even know what to say. I mean, do you know how fucking Tori found out? She just randomly exit a floor in the place when they just exit the room, and she just go back inside.
That happened a few times. Like the elevator just like opens, and like the people they need to hear the conversation from.
No. So it's very convenient.
Yeah.
But I will say, in Robbie's perspective, because didn't Robbie think that Quan kissed? Didn't Quan kiss her or some shit like that? Did she like or something like that?
Robbie just thought like that was like that Quam and like Tori were a thing, but they weren't. But that's but like in this context, like with Zara, Robbie's completely drunk because he had rum and coke, so he just doesn't remember anything. And the scene that we do see is like they're outside of a hotel room, and then she's implying that they had sex, which we don't know for sure if that's really what happened, and she's just saying that to get into Tori's head to make it seem like that. That is cope, to be fair. But yeah, it's like, I mean, it is still there. It's like it's very strong implications there. That's not good. It's not good. If it was basically the role reversal, if it was a guy who did that to a girl, then what would you say? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about Zara as a character. She's whatever the plot needs her to.
I think so. Zara
I like her more than Axel.
So I think, because she has more character. Zara is legit. You remember the popular bitch that Dimitri? I forgot what Dimitri's girlfriend is.
Jasmine.
Okay. She's basically the Jasmine that knows how to fight. That's basically I think what they're trying to do. She's like this influencer ass girl. I get everything I want. I'm this pretty. Why don't these dudes like me? This, that, and the third. Like she's just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like of course you like me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she's just the karate equivalent of Jasmine in season 1. And then what is it? Aisha gave her the wedgie, she was cooked. But I don't think she's not supposed to have it. I don't think the Iron Dragons are supposed to like the characters are supposed to like have a dense character. I think they're supposed to be simple. Like you have
they are very simple.
Like Axel's like the lumbering brute. Like he's like if he dies, he dies. People compared him to what is it? Drago, what you call it? Victor Drago in Rocky, where he's just like an instrument of destruction. And then Zara's just like a bitch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they're not supposed to be like
Drago,
We're supposed to get more of the. We got more of the characters with like the Cobra Kai champions with again Quan having a chip on his shoulder, feeling like he's the best, him beating Yoon and Yoon's friends, and like Kreese kind of taking that Kreese using his darkness to bring it out to actually have his thing, and then Tori like we're supposed to get more of the characterization through those characters. I think the whole thing is like Terry Silver. Like we get a lot of stuff from like Wolf, Sensei Wolf. But I think the Iron Dragons are just like the instrument that like Terry Silver uses.
My favorite Mortal Kombat character, Cole Young.
I mean, you know, he was in Deadpool too.
He was in Deadpool too.
He was Shatterstar. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that guy.
He died like immediately. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know what to say about this Louis Tan's character. It's like Sensei Wolf. I don't know.
He's like super strong and like all that stuff, but then
he's like Mike Barnes. He's legit Mike Barnes on steroids. Like he legit is a better fighter, and he's even more ruthless because he like abuses his students. Like he's just like he's legit Mike Barnes on steroids.
Yeah, here's the thing I realized about this season. Every villain in this season is just so thin. There's nothing to say about them. Sarah's whatever the plot needs her to be. I think I actually kind of feel bad for her because Tori's the one being an asshole to her, and then she just fucking rapes Robbie for some reason. Yes, they absolutely think that Sarah is like the bad guy here before that. And all I can think of is like, wow, actually, according to her knowledge, she didn't do anything wrong. And
yeah.
And so they just basically just ruins her. It's just like, hey, let me rape Robbie. It's like, oh Lord.
But that's the thing. I think Zara is supposed to be like the bitchy character that was in season 1, where it's like everything happens for me because I'm pretty and I'm this, and of course you like me. Like it's like, does that make sense? I think she's she's supposed to be that shallow. Like why? Like we even see that in the fight. He's like, how did you choose?
I think that's been my disappointing thing because like I felt like it could have been interesting if Cobra Kai was actually done, like they lost and they're gone, and then like you actually had to focus on the Iron Dragon for the last half, like or the last third of the show. I thought that's what it was going to do. Obviously, it turns out one of the teams had steroids, so you guys are out, and Cobra Kai is back in. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious that was going to happen. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's also really arbitrary. It's like, here's.
The one team that we never focused on, the Russians. So yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that how do you do drug testing?
Urine, probably like
urine testing,
like whatever, blood, whatever, right? Like whatever they have. Like,
well, I mean, if you're doing
usually,
the drug test,
usually like athletes, they're told to like do that like weekly or like bi-weekly, depending on just to check if everything's okay. All this stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, I was like, if the security is like drug testing literally teenagers, why don't you just search weapons from trees? They could literally just search a knife.
I'm not gonna lie. So Unity, you might they like, especially for high school football, high school basketball, they like you can demand drug tests from people, or wrestling. You can demand drug tests. You can, especially in football, where people think like, oh my god, he's on steroids. That is a legit thing to get like college. So you can demand drug tests from people. So
yeah,
but who demand them? That's the other thing.
Yeah, it is normal for an organization to do that. Like even like NBA teams or NFL teams or anything like that, they usually do have like some kind of testing. It's not like all the time, but like
it always happens when somebody has 50.
It's sometimes it's usually random, like where it's like because that way you cannot prepare for it. So it's like, oh, if you're clean, it shouldn't matter what day it happens. So it's like sometimes that's the case too. So yeah.
Oh well.
But I will say still, where the fuck is the security?
Yeah.
And then that when we'll get to episode 5, that will be more apparent.
Yeah, we're just jumping out of order because there's nothing. I don't even know what to say about the season.
Honestly, let's go back to the characters. So, let's get Dimitri out of the way.
He's annoying. He's legit. He became like, I'm kind of sad for him, and he's like, oh, he kind of got some shit to him. And then in season 4, he kind of gave Hawk his edge back. And then he just became annoying. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, he doesn't have a. After season 4, Dimitri's been like the worst character in the show.
No, he's character assassinated. In this entire 5 episodes, he's just like, hey, I'm gonna dance with some girl because I'm gonna piss Robbie off. Let Robbie not Hawk off.
See, my thing that pisses me off is like this entire season, all he did was bitching, complaining. He's not that great of a fighter, if we're being completely honest.
And no, that's why I'm pissed. No, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm pissed. That's why I'm pissed. Because when they're
should've been
doing that
Kenny.
dojo versus dojo fight, he should not be able to fight Yoon. Yoon was the champion before Quan, and if Quan got some darkness in him, Yoon is still amazing. Yoon should be able to walk him down. Yoon should walk him down. It should be Hawk who actually gives a fuck about this shit and who's actually been training and actually had a couple moments that should beat him. And not it shouldn't be both of them because Dimitri shouldn't be able to hang with Yoon at all, bro. That pisses me off, bro.
Yeah, and like and then the in terms of characterization, like what I completely hate is that this entire season, this applies to Hawk as well. It's like Hawk keeps apologizing to Dimitri for things that he shouldn't be apologizing for, and Dimitri does not apologize once for any of his shit behavior. He doesn't acknowledge the fact that he literally danced with someone when he was told not to do that, when he has a girlfriend at home who was way out of his league anyway. I have to mention that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's ridiculous. And then, I mean, sure, I guess the binary bros, like that team up fight at the end is like, that's fine. But like after all this like bitching and complaining for 4 episodes,
Their chemistry is
honestly, yeah.
And again, there was a large moment in that fight before Yoon was even tired, where Yoon is fighting hands on hands with Dimitri. Dimitri, in any of these rounds of the fight, has not got a dub, and he has told us, at least I'm going to MIT. He has not got a dub. He has not had a single W. So in that first part, where it's Dimitri versus Yoon, Yoon should fucking walk him, bro. And it should be Dimitri telling Hawk how to, maybe I tell him like this physics shit, like, he kicks at this type of angle, counter with this, because Hawk actually cares about karate or whatever. And Dimitri is talking about the physics and all this other shit. Because he's like, I'm going to school for physics. I know the physics. It's a school known for it. Like he was giving Hawk stuff when they were doing that kickboard test. He was talking about you have to always accelerate this, that, and the third. Like I understand the physics of it, this, that, and the third. So what would have been better? Yoon beats Dimitri's ass. Hawk gets mad because that's my best friend, right? I don't like him right now. That's my best friend. And then Dimitri coaches Hawk during the fight using his physics or whatever. And then Hawk beats Yoon that way. It's just because Dimitri should not be able. I'm just pissed. Dimitri should not be able to fight on Yoon's level at all, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. But
yeah.
No.
Once they said that Sam and Tori were going to be in the fight, there's something's going to be in the way that's going to prevent the fight from happening. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's kind of been predictable in that sense. But yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It's just, God, Dimitri. I annoying characters is one thing, but the fact no accountability does not really do that much in terms of like justifying why I should be here, or in that sense. It's like, because like Robbie was getting his ass kicked and he was like doing really badly, but like the thing is, like, you can at least see that he had a mental block, especially with the whole thing about Tori and like how she went over and like how she talked about making a pause and all this stuff, and that's been affecting him mentally. But then you also see how he overcomes that, how he is able to go back to being the leader again.
That shows you how much he loves Tori. Tori said that was fake, and he did that pop up, and he locks in, and then he starts beating Kwan's ass. Like,
yeah. See, but that's the thing. It's like Robbie was, but the thing is, like, in this situation, like Robbie, Devin, even like again, I really like how Devin was handled. Like, one, the guilt got to her, losing really badly. Kenny really should have been here this whole time. Eventually gets to the point where she gets the courage to tell Johnny that, yeah, I cheated to get here. I felt terrible. I really, and then, starts crying and all that stuff. And we talked about it's a very good interaction with Johnny being the teacher.
Because Johnny has real fucking emotions. He knows what it's be to like overshadowed, and it's like the 2 girls in the dojo are this, and I'm started later. Like he understands. Like that's why I've always said Johnny's probably one of the best structured characters in the entirety of Cobra Kai. Like,
yeah. And then I really appreciate it, like especially with like, Devin does call Kenny and all that stuff, telling him about the truth that this is what happened. Obviously it's happening right when Anthony is taking laxative himself. I do appreciate that, even though Anthony didn't do that he did treat Kenny really badly for a long time. That yeah, you didn't make him shit his pants, but like at least you're trying to make it even to be friends with him. So it's like I still appreciate it at that level, but then like I also appreciate from Kenny. It's like I hear this from Devin, and then I go a long plane ride to go back to Barcelona. It's like I spent all the time on the plane just thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I forgive you. It was like clearly you had to sabotage me so that because I was better than you. It's like yeah, that's exactly what it was. So it's like I just thought that was very nice and very mature, and like how they were able to go through that. And then I completely hated how Dimitri and Hawk were like, oh, that's very suspicious. How could she forget? How could he forgive her? That's kind of suspicious. Like that was really stupid.
And the fact that he was like, yeah, he must be working with like fucking Terry again. I was like, what the fuck? Why is that your conclusion?
They don't even know what Terry is.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about Miguel Loki? How do you feel like Miguel hating on Robbie and like having that comment when he does the 2v1 where it's all like I was basically just like, I'm gonna show you how it's done, and like
bro had all that aura.
Yeah, I actually quite like Miguel. I don't really have much problem with him. It's just like, yeah, of course, like fucking Robbie. It's like when you're in the tournament, you shouldn't be thinking about a lot. You shouldn't have to like mentally distract you. I mean, it's understandable, but you shouldn't have like the mental stuff distract you when it comes to like being a leader and stuff. Of course, he's gonna be like, you either you fucking man up or you actually just like hand the captain to him.
Yeah. What I really like about Miguel's shit is like, even though like he's extremely stressed, he doesn't let the world know his problems because like the whole shit with Miguel is he doesn't know if he can afford because he's trying to go to Stanford. He doesn't know if he can afford it. And then they said the second attack you can get scholarship money. And obviously Robbie has the whole thing where it's all like where Robbie's future is karate too, but he's thinking about Tori. But it's like unlike Dimitri, he's not saying, "Oh, I need this for scholarship money." He's like, "Oh, I just want us to win so we can win as a team." You know what I'm saying? And you're not doing it. Like, sometimes you need somebody to kick yourself in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Like give ass. And he was hard on Robbie, but then obviously he teed up, and it got to that. He basically he allowed he said like, "Robbie, you'll have your moment." Like, and basically said like assured him like. Obviously, I think I should be captain, but you are just as good as I am. This, that, and the third. So I felt like I really like Miguel throughout this entire thing.
Yeah, and I do agree. Like Robbie, I will say though, that boy was getting like beat like easily. Like he goes right into, but like that thing was so I hated that thing with like especially with like the binary bros like about don't tap Kenny, don't tap him, and then that makes Jack go for Robbie, who was clearly not prepared for that, and then he gets hit like immediately and then falls down. That was ass.
Yeah,
but but it's not Robbie's fault. It's the binary bros not trusting Kenny for some fucking reason. So,
no, yeah, I mean the problem with all the characters is just like no one holds Daniel accountable for anything. That's basically the only problem.
Danny or
Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was like I don't care. I was like, I don't care what do they say. I was like, well, Johnny, you suck. You didn't help everyone during the tournament. It's like at the very least, he didn't bow on you guys.
Yeah, honestly, okay, I see what you mean. Because like what I was gonna say is like honestly, I don't even know how they could have done that because like Danny's barely there with the team. Like he was there originally, but like once that whole like Miyagi fetch quest happened, like then he's completely detached or like halfway in, halfway out kind of a thing. Money's a lot more involved. Chosen is a lot more involved. So it's like nobody actually talks to Danny except for his daughter, which of course, and then the only other time is really Miguel when he's telling Danny and Johnny to stop being bitches, which is like, okay, but like that's not really addressing the problem with Danny. I feel like Danny has just kind of been too detached with everybody else in this part, especially.
So I think it's just the future because Rob, I think you're seeing the difference between him and Johnny's character because Johnny, they both adapted like their dojos, like I guess you say mantra or lifestyle, and Johnny obviously like no relationship with his son, drunk, not a lot of money, this, that, and the third. So he's had to change in order to be successful. Daniel was talking about balance and this, that, and the third, and he's like an amazing, like he owns a car dealership and he's known in the Lawrence Valley. He has a beautiful wife. He has 2 kids that like they love him or whatever. Like he has a legacy. So it's like in Daniel's eyes, he can't do anything wrong because I've always been winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to change how I've been doing things because I've adapted this Miyagi-Do strategy. I beat you in a fight. I've been winning in life. So why do I need to change? Which is just obviously it's annoying, but I understand the logic. Does that make sense? Like obviously Johnny's gonna change faster because the shit when he sticks hard into like no mercy, whatever, he fucks up. He was fucking up in life. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Also, that was a good point too about Miguel in the plane ride as well. I think because especially, I mean, winning a 1v2 is a lot. So it's like that ego boost was deserved, but he did humble himself and was able to. Yeah, but like because like with especially for Robbie's character, because like you need to know that you're going to be the leader and I got your back, and that's all that's really going to matter. If we lose together. That's all that matters. So I do appreciate it from Miguel. I would say probably the best character so far.
no,
Probably. I mean, it's just yeah. They just all have the same problem with like Daniel.
yeah. I think I saw a room. So Joel Mariduena was like did a podcast. He talked about like what is it? He said part 3 is gonna be for Miguel fans, and I'm already hypothesizing because because the fight's supposed to it's still gonna be Robbie versus Axel, and I feel like and I saw this. Robbie's gonna be doing well with Axel. Axel's gonna beat him, and then Silver's gonna say some nasty shit, and Axel's gonna basically what happened in the first. You remember what happened in the first Karate Kid, where it's all like the guy before Johnny like messed up Daniel's leg or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's gonna happen. Robbie's gonna be like hurt. In order to actually beat Axel, it's gonna be Miguel. So I like it's good because it started with Miguel. I feel like it's gonna end with Miguel, and it's gonna be like it basically Miguel's been fighting for his future so much that he's gonna be like, I have to fight for my brother now. You know what I'm saying? Like because I think because we're talking about that plane ride scene, he's all like, "You're also my son too," and like Miguel starts to cry or whatever. So he's starting to see himself, the family that him and Johnny are making. And he's actually starting to see Robbie as like a brother and like a rival. And it's like, I don't want to see like my brother like go down like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think instead of like fighting against people, he's gonna be fighting for Robbie in that moment. So I think we're gonna see the best Miguel when he fights Axel. Because that's a rumor I've saw. It makes sense that Axel would like do dirty shit because Terry Silver and Sensei Wolf said to do some dirty shit, right?
My only thing about the Axel thing, because like up until this point, like nothing, like the dude is a fucking tank. Like he can take everybody and like everybody's gone. He has not lost like a single time or like shown any sort of weakness, which we were talking about the power scaling aspect. But then like also it is like with how this part ends, like now there could be something that hits Axel, particularly from the emotional point of view. And we'll talk about that towards the end.
But again, we saw Miguel. We saw in part in season 4, Miguel was trying out new moves. Like you remember that tornado kick, and he like fucked up his back. He hasn't done that shit anymore. So I feel like instead
I not Miguel. I meant like for Axel himself.
No,
like,
I know
that might be the thing that weakens him.
Oh, it's him having to do dirty shit,
like feeling bad for like what happened.
Yeah, but yeah, they said if.
He might stand up to his abusive sensei. I think that's another.
I mean,
as well.
But that's not gonna. That's not gonna matter. Sensei Wolf was fighting Johnny and he was fighting Daniel at the same time. Like unless Axel is better than both of them, which is like why is Axel even in this fight? Like for logistically, it doesn't make sense because again, we saw Sensei Wolf kill a man in the ring, and we also saw Sensei Wolf fight Johnny and Daniel. So unless they're weaker than the students, which I guess like.
I can't believe like the entire is like I don't even know what to say. It's like they just have like Quan just killed himself, but if Axel just kicked him, well, what the fuck is that? It's like what is that even allowed?
Wow. We talked about the security thing and how weapons can go inside without any
I think
But the thing is, like, but like, if we're being honest though, like, remember earlier when they were doing like let's talk to the investors and stuff like that, and then you saw Johnny and Kreese like talking to this one guy about the acrylic nunchucks and all this stuff, and Kreese had the knife on him, and that was like allowed. Nobody was like, "Oh, you're not allowed to have that in here" or anything like that. That was so it was okay to have a blade in this area. So you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, so having a blade is not really a crime.
No, but it's like, even let's assume that
But it is
everything makes
dangerous.
sense.
It is dangerous. So yeah.
Let's assume that everything makes sense. What does Ax? I was like, okay, so Axel accidentally killing Quan means like nothing to the story.
No, so I think it's more symbolic. So I think it just shows you that the Cobra Kai way is actually, because all students of the Cobra Kai that like have really dug into it have all failed. Like we have Johnny who became a loser, Miguel who got his back broke, Robbie who lost completely who he was and ended up hurting Kenny, and then we have Quan who died. And it's all these people that kind of like succumb into the darkness, and it's like they. Like I think it's more symbolic of why Quan died. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
one could say that Quan fell on his own sword.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, what's the cost? What does it mean for Axel? Absolutely nothing.
Well, Axel didn't do anything. Like, it's a brawl. If you like,
it was an accident.
Yeah,
sure.
It is an accident. I was like,
it's like DeFrost said, like it was a counter move. He didn't know that he had the sword, and then once he has the kick, and then it's a very sharp sword, man. So like,
I think it's symbolic because it was the Cobra Kai people that brought the knife in because fucking Kreese was trying to kill Silver with it. So the Cobra Kai shit is like the venom from the poisonous Cobra Kai. Like it's like you're gonna end up dying to it. Like I think that's what they're trying to say.
Another thing too is like with Kreese in particular is like he's been calling Quan and like pretty much everybody in Cobra Kai like a soldier, not like but like this is like the first time where like Quan died because of his sword that was in his possession. So I think that's why now it's like he's not a soldier anymore. He's a kid that died. So,
I mean, do you know the fact that the Quan literally just picked up the sword because he just falls next to the sword for no reason?
But to be fair, that's been happening all season, so I'm kind of just used to it at this point.
Yeah. I don't even know and no one actually step on the sword. There's like a massive brawl happening, and there's a sword literally just laid open. If any of the students just step on the sword, like they can actually avoid that.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Having someone die does feel like a natural escalation. We did end season 2 with Robbie getting seriously injured in one of these brawls. Now Quan is full on dead. Yeah, I understand it. I just. So my biggest thing first is like the fact that we got the brawl in the first place because some steroid Russian punches the host in the face, and that gets everybody to start fighting is pretty crazy. But like but at that point it's like you just kind of have to accept it because this is happening now. So yeah, then it's like I understand the escalations and like how it gets to the point that we are at, and I do think like it does make sense in terms of like it's an ending that. I am curious to see where does it go next. So, I guess it did do its job technically.
I think through Quan's death, because that's the thing. I don't think because even we've seen Johnny has blamed Kreese a lot of times for like the shit, and Johnny even says my son's exactly what I thought he was, and Kreese never understood what he was doing to children, right? So I think this thing, I think Kreese is gonna maybe have a redemption where it's gonna be everybody versus basically the Iron Dragons.
Having a redemption, that's kind of my thing.
I don't know if it's worth having a redemption. We had the whole scene with like his childhood and Kreese and like that girl that he went off the war and how like he saved Terry, like, and Terry really being a snake when they were in like Vietnam or some shit like that. Like I don't like we saw through Kreese's background, he's not a bad guy. Remember that girl that was getting picked on at the diner or whatever?
Yeah.
And I think he's been a soldier himself. I think he's always wanted to protect the weak. And I think he's thought that if I make the best soldiers ever, I can protect the weak. You know what I'm saying? Obviously he's a little misconstrued, right?
Insane.
Yeah, but his sanity, like Terry Silver is definitely more insane, but
yeah. That's what it was.
What I mean, other characters like Hawk, Robbie, Dimitri. It's like
Hawk. The thing is, like, Hawk is just too tied with Dimitri overall. So some of his annoying things are just coming off because of what Dimitri's saying or doing.
Yeah.
And then I just found it annoying that he kept apologizing for things that he didn't do wrong, or, oh, I'm sorry that your girlfriend dumped you. It's like, no, that was the right thing to do.
No, I mean, if I was that, if you're dating someone, and you're dancing with someone, I'll be like, yeah, of course you're gonna get dumped, you fucking idiot.
How do y'all feel about what is it? Kenny having no warm up and
Yeah,
coming up.
let's talk about Kenny.
Kenny had that 2v1 where he went for that flying punch, and then he was doing all that shit. Then he came up with the uppercut. Kenny came in clutch, and like Dimitri and what is it? Dimitri and Hawk were like, oh, I guess, and he flipped him off. And I think that a big part of that is like
you're flicking off Barry, yeah.
Yeah. I think a big part of that was like the talk he had with like Sean, and obviously Sean, his brother, has been in juvie. So obviously, like the anger issues kind of running his family, but I guess Sean like getting out of juvie and like learning from Robbie and stuff like that, and like basically like understanding like I don't care about fighting, but it's like you have to have a reason to fight, basically. So I think. And then the only thing I didn't like about Kenny, which I thought was corny, is when he flipped Terry Silver off. I think I would have just stared at him. I don't think he had to flip him off, but
yeah, I mean, I get it just to make it a little bit more clear that he's not. I'm not joining you regardless, but like I get it for that sake, and he is young.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty tough. Like
you know what I wanted him to do? I wanted him to use the silver bullet. Like he's used that move, and he like one tap talk, and he's never used that move again. He's never used that move again. I don't know.
Yeah. Why don't you just use the silver bullet? It's like that's like instant knockdown for when it comes to like hit when it comes to beating everyone. That's an instant knockdown. I mean, it's stupid. Everyone can just block it, but you should still try it.
Yeah. Again, so I also like with Kenny, as we talked about with how he handled the whole Devin situation. I also, of course, talked about the 2v1 as well. I also liked how Devin and Kenny also have kind of like they go up on the platform and they fight together in that kind of sense too. Yeah. That was very nice as well.
If they were gonna do this, I think they were gonna set up I think towards the end I think they're gonna set up like their relationship, because we also saw them walking into school together and shit like that. I think they have like a little mini relationship type thing towards the end.
Yeah, that can work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think about Sam?
Sam, she did nothing.
No, she was so annoying in season 5 when she was like basically like blaming Tori for everything.
I really have nothing to say about Sam.
Here's the thing. What does Sam do in the entire season?
Sam is just Danny, but a kid.
I
get that's the point, but like
Sam not understanding like all the fuck shit that goes wrong, and Tori's like it took her mother dying. Is like, damn, Tori really don't be having shit. Like even if Sam loses all her shit, she still has her mother, she still has her father. Like, and it took like Robbie even told this to her, where it's all like, Sam, you're Mrs. Miss LaRusso that grows up in Beverly Hills. You have privilege, and like Sam LaRusso not understanding like the privilege she has. Like I think
yeah.
Obviously, I also heard a rumor that basically after I don't know if this is true or not. I saw a little like rumor leak that after the death of Quan, that basically she doesn't want to fight anymore. So,
but like she wasn't a part of this.
I understand, but like that's like
I can understand this for Tori.
No, but I think Tori needs it though.
Tori does need it. Like, Sam is just like, I mean, again, seeing somebody's death is like anybody can react to that, even if you're not a part of it or anything like that. Anybody can react to somebody dying, especially to a sword like that.
I mean,
but
what does Samuel contribute the entire season? All he did is like,
No,
Axel is
I
actually
think
being abused.
I think the biggest thing was especially in that last fight where Tori thought it was just her versus the world. It was me and my mom and Kreese versus the world, and then I had Robbie, but then Robbie kind of betrayed me. So I think the biggest thing is that in that last fight,
But
where is it like?
I don't think Sam was the thing though. Like Sam was there, yes, but Robbie had more of the.
No, I know Robbie had more, but I just think
Yeah.
someone is like she sees her like as a sister, like like because didn't Sam have a line was like you get like she's like I always have your back or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It was like it's to the sense of that. It's like where because Tori was thinking I'm because the whole reason she went to Cobra Kai is because she didn't think she was gonna fair shot. She thinks she's isolated in the world, and she's the only person that was really like I guess she thinks on her side is Kreese. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, her conversation with Tori in the first episode was pretty decent. Like I'm not really mad or anything like that. I get where you got to this position or
yeah,
like why you decided
Yeah.
to choose Cobra Kai, all this stuff. And honestly, I am kind of curious, like, like how it ended with part one. The cliffhanger was that Tori joins Cobra Kai, but then the start of this part was like they're not really mad about that. Not really, at least. It seems like all the kids like seem to understand like why this decision was made.
well, I mean, they would be complete assholes if it's like they like because it's like what Johnny said. Because Johnny said she should have fought, she wanted the chance, but then they were gonna basically Sam, what is it? Daniel and the wife were like, "Oh no, you can't fight in this thing." And the only thing Tori had left was karate, and like to have that taken away, like I think you just understand, like her mother just died. Let her at least like fight, like get her demons out, and I'm gonna be here at the end because that's what Robbie. That's why I fuck with Robbie. Like even though he wasn't in his head, Robbie was all like, Robbie always like was telling her throughout the second part, like I'll be here for you. Like we can take like he was always trying to say like I'll be here for you. Like I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
Like he was patient, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. But
No,
really
yeah.
Unity mostly for the Sam part. It really is just wow.
Trailer.
That guy Axel is getting abused. That's not cool. Let me be nice to him. Oh, he thinks I'm pretty. Damn.
I mean,
that sucks.
And then there's like some ninjas, and then those Cobra Kai just teleport to just try to beat them out because reasons. Literally because reasons.
So, yeah, I really don't have anything else to add for Sam. Let's talk about the Cobra Kai gang.
Again, Quan, obviously, like Quan is like the great like Cobra Kai student. Like we found out he's very talented. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't take himself serious, and then like. Fucking Kreese gets in his head to be like, make them see you as the number one. And then we had that whole good ass fight where Quan beats Yoon and the two other Cobra Kai students.
Yeah.
So I think that was really good. Yoon is more or less just like after he gets beat by like he was kind of Quan's rival and he gets beat. He's kind of like Quan's lackey. Like he cheers for the nigga and shit. So it's like whatever. That's really it. And then like we don't really get any more from the Korean students, and it's like just Tori. So like again, how do you feel about Tori? I guess.
No, yeah, it's just Tori is weird. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll go back to Quan first. Quan. Again, like for me, I wasn't a real big fan of the Cobra Kai side in general because I just thought how Kreese escaped was really stupid. But it just got to a point where I had to accept it. But,
I'm gonna jump into this. People were telling me the stuff Jack was kicking it was not unrealistic. A 7-year-old man breaking out of jail and fighting people with shanks. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was kind of my thing about part one. Is like I was enjoying like pretty much a good amount of it, but then it's like it's just the Cobra Kai stuff. I just don't care. I mean, at least Quan was like entertaining. Like
he was a good villain.
He was a good villain, and like beating Yoon and all that stuff that was really good as well. And then it goes into part two. He pretty much is just like he is very talented at fighting for sure, very skilled. He does keep spamming the same move a lot, but I mean, if you're good at it, you might as well use it. And he's winning, so that works too. But then, like, outside of that, yeah, he's a shit
He's
talker.
no,
Shit
yeah,
talker.
he's just a cartoon. That's all. I mean, he just hates the Cobra. He just hates Miyagi though because his sensei said
Because
so.
his
I
sensei
guess
said so. Yeah.
that's basically his motivation. Why does he hate Axel? He beats him, and then he just tried to beat him again. He lost, and he's
It's like it got to the point where he wanted to kill Axel.
holy
There's like,
shit.
yeah,
That's jumping conclusions.
yeah.
No, I think
Yeah, I also get it because like nobody can beat Axel, and it's like the only thing that seems to will probably do anything is a blade.
no,
It's
but
like,
that's the thing. So I think I think they're doing that on purpose. It's symbolic, like what the Cobra Kai route gets you, like because Quan obviously is like he's Cobra Kai, like he's an amazing fighter. It's no mercy. He takes cheap shots. Like when he took that cheap shot on Robbie, nobody told him to do that. He did that on his own. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like when he set them up for failure with that trick for like
the hip check, yeah.
like where them all sitting in the room. Kreese didn't tell him to do that. Like before, Kreese would like give like when Hawk was the Cobra Kai student, right?
Mhm.
Kreese was like telling him to do shit, and like that's when he started Miyagi Metal and all this shit. Like Quan had all this shit in his thing, playing mind games with Robbie. Kreese didn't tell him to do that. At least we don't know, right? So I think Quan is just the epitome of like what that Cobra Kai like shit is. Does that make sense? Like
No, yeah, I do
I
see
mean,
that.
I get the idea, but at the same time, he's just not that developed. At party, he's just literally just a cartoon. That's how I describe him. He just, I mean, and then you just, if you want to say that, and then you just look at Johnny or other Cobra Kai characters from like Cobra Kai, or even just the Karate Kid movie, there are like a lot more just shit talkers who hates you.
no, they also no they. So if we're gonna talk about Hawk broke Dimitri's arm, right? Like fucking Robbie did that backflip kick thing where he like cracked Kenny in the face. That was so wild. That was so when he did that backflip kick thing and like kick Kenny in the face. Like they all like have a moment where it's like they show no mercy. Quan was just like, no, I'm gonna show no mercy and I'm gonna kill him. Like
Yeah, but yeah, like with Quan, I mean, all the way through is like I think like he is like entertaining. I just think the actor is like really funny and like how he like delivers himself and like how the uber confidence and like and all that stuff. And obviously it gets like my biggest thing about Quan in particular is especially where he started to crumble is like when that Robbie fight happens and like Satori tells Robbie the truth that he needed to hear, and that just like clicks everything in Robbie's head. That to the point where Quan, the guy who has been set up like to be, so he's not the guy, he's like at least the second guy after Axel, but at least he had more of a personality than Axel. So there's that. But they go in, they have the fight, but then it's like at that point, Robbie is just whooping his ass to the point that there is like it's one sided. You don't feel like Quan, like you never felt like Robbie was ever in the defense at all by that point. And then it's like at that point, it's like Quan gets like mollywopped like so crazy to the point that it was kind of like it was a clean finish, and that was just kind of disappointing. All this setup, and then Robbie just easily beat him because he got his head back straight.
the best fights or the most competitive fights were the fight in season 4 and what is it the season 2 fight between Robbie and Miguel, where it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like those obviously and obviously the whole reason Robbie loses in season 4 is because he saw what he was turning into Kenny, and it was like again with the mental. They always had this mental block shit where it's like people can't just lose. Like
No, I mean, it's like the biggest tournament in the world. All that you have to do is like, oh, you see, the people around the world is like really OP, so you have to think of some other ways to beat them.
I mean, to be fair, Soham, we did see how like he was getting affected by Tori, and then Miguel even said you met her in the middle of the night. Like we did see, like it wasn't like we didn't see how this mental block was affecting Robbie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And obviously, we saw he still was good. He just wasn't on his A game because you remember he did that kick thingy or whatever, the board game. So obviously, Robbie might have been firing at like 70% because he still is good, and we seeing it's actually affect him. So it's like I think it's fair to say that without the mental block, he could like body Quan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but I just think like because Quan was like kind of set up as the villain, and then all it took for like a mental block to go away, and now Super Saiyan essentially.
No, I mean all he did was like Tori just like, oh, by the way,
on Robbie's side at least.
No,
yeah.
I was literally listening to the conversation. All Tori said is like, "Wow, I wasn't dating Quan. What the fuck?" That's how he snapped.
All he did is put an arm around me. That's not dating.
I mean, so
no, I understand.
Let's be
But
real,
it's just think about it. That is pretty much what gets Robbie into Super Saiyan mode. So
I'm not gonna lie, Song. I'm not gonna lie, Song. Like, Song, I don't know if you have a girl. Like, I don't have a girl, but if I saw a dude put their arm on my girl in a flirtatious way, that would make me feel some type of way, Song. I don't know. Like,
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, would be like that would be just snapping. Oh, that would be like, oh, okay, that guy's just weird. That would make me like mentally just like feel completely fine, able to beat up that guy.
Yeah. Again, my downside is just like I just feel like that was anticlimactic, especially for Quan's side, and then especially because this is also the point where it's, you know, this actually is for the win essentially. And Robbie won, so then Cobra Kai is out of the tournament, and then at that point, like, okay, we don't even know if like we didn't know about the super soldier serum thing from the Russians and all that stuff, so you know, it is what it is. But like at that point, it's like, okay, we got to the point where Quan lost and he got mollywopped. So that's kind of where it got to the overrated conversation, I would say. But then they're only back because the Russians had steroids, so that means the Cobra Kai is back. It's not because they deserved it; it's just that somebody else cheated. So it's just that kind of thing. So it's like, it puts a little bit of a damper on Quan because like he was set up to be at least the top two guys, especially villain wise, and then to the point that he lost like super easily.
No, I mean they need time for fucking Sarah and Axel for some reason. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, like I could have been okay, but it's called Cobra Kai, so it's like okay, I guess we got to figure out a way how to keep Cobra Kai back.
So many scenes for Sarah, absolutely nothing. I mean, I want to get to Robbie. Robbie is like a lot of like he has a lot of shit happen, but at the same time, the episode doesn't.
We kind of talk over Robbie, but yeah, we can talk about.
But like, yeah, it's just here's the thing about Robbie. It's like a lot of shit happened to him, but it's like none of them actually affects him. Or at the very least, everything they just resolve it. I just like you say, I like Tori just thinks like, oh, actually, we're not dating. It's like that done. That's his arc. And then what about he got fucking raped by Sarah? Absolutely nothing. Tori knows that. Didn't tell him.
He didn't even process that.
Well, the thing is, to be fair, I think it's just implied that like I think she's just doing it to mess with Tori. And the thing is, Tori doesn't know that Robbie didn't go in there willingly because she said they were on a break or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, the only dialogue is just the I seriously don't remember what happened. Which I mean, like rum and coke, 2 rum and cokes, and blackout drunk. I mean,
well, they're in high school.
This was his first time, so fair enough. But yeah, it even then it's like that doesn't really bother him. I mean,
if here's the thing: if you got fucking raped, I will mentally speaking, you'll be fucked. You'll be fucked up.
But the thing is, he didn't even process that either.
Wow.
Well, I think he's too worried about Tori to actually care about whatever Zara did to him, bro. Which is like it's kind of crazy. But I think that's just it. He doesn't care about what the
because even after the kiss, like he still can't even register what happened, and he just walks off. So it's like even after all that, he doesn't even understand that he got raped. So like that pretty much is the truth. The only way he can know that is if Zara's pregnant. But like that's when I'm pretty sure at that point, I don't know if that's like a weird thing, but it's like I do feel like he's so like mentally detached from like this concept of what happened to him that like I think it would take like Zara being pregnant for that to register in his head that that actually did happen. Yeah, so
I don't think
it is a little weird.
I don't think it would actually happen, bro. Like,
I also don't think that
because when he picked her, because when she was wailing on Tori and he picked her up, he's like, "You chose her over me." I don't think she would have said that if she had gave that nigga some of the, you know what I'm saying? Like
if I'm pregnant because of you, it's like, yeah, she would have said that.
I don't think she said you chose her over me. Now, obviously, maybe the shit wasn't good, Zara. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't good. Maybe.
I mean,
yeah, it's tough to say. But yeah, I do agree that she is pretty thin. But like I also do understand that. So that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that way. I meant her character was thin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Robbie, man, nothing. I mean, I look at the dialogue again. All he said was like, "Wow, you basically." Sam was like, "You slept with your enemy. Well, you slept with Quan as well." Basically, he acknowledged that he got raped, and he basically did not realize that he got raped. Fucking hell!
But even then, it's like just because they're dating, that doesn't mean like if you're implying that like Quan and Tori were dating at this point, okay, but just because they're sleeping together, that doesn't mean they're actually having sex.
No,
right?
so all right, so come on now.
Are you going to tell me that Quan and Tori definitely had sex during this entire
obviously
tournament?
I don't think they're sleep. I just think that Quan wouldn't make you think that, but if it's very.
I mean, Quan is going to make it sound like that happened, but it's didn't.
Very. If Robbie thinks they have a thing, it's very like decent for him like to understand that. Like we're not gonna do it. Like so, come on now. So
it's dependent on. Like,
I understand why Robbie would think that. I'm not saying he's doing that. I don't think they're doing that, right? I think Quan is obviously just putting that image in his head to fuck with him, right? But like that's not a crazy image to put in. Like Tori is good looking. I am the #1 student in the dojo. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's just there's two definitions of sleeping with. So
I mean,
that does exist. We can't say it doesn't.
Like it exists, but it's like I guess like
yeah no.
Like so, I'm like, there's two different definitions. I'm gonna beat his ass. Like you might, like you have a belt, or you're gonna like punch him. Like you know what I'm saying. But if somebody says I'm gonna beat his ass, so home, you're not thinking he's gonna actually like spank him, right? Like.
Oh well, so that's
potato. I guess that's what it is. Well, yeah, but I'm with Robbie. The stuff, the stuff with him and Miguel is better. Yeah. I think we can all agree on that.
Robbie was smoking crack, and Miguel was not smoking crack. Robbie was smoking something, and then Miguel was like, "You have to tee up." Like, he said, personally, I don't think you're. He was on some shit like, I don't think you're the best. You're the captain, but you won it, so you have to win it. So you have to be in your. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be in your shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I wish like it's the person who talks the sense back is fucking Miguel and not Tori. That's the thing. I was like, oh, I mean, he did technically, but he's not the final one who's snapping back.
Miguel kind of snaps.
Oh, I mean, he did.
Like, he snapped him for like a specific moment, but then he broke out of it again seeing Tori. Like, because that happened way too many times too. It's like every single time Robbie was on the mat, looks at Tori, loses. It's like, oh my god. And it happens like 4 or 5 times. I mean, obviously it was the first round, so it was like meant for the qualifiers and all that stuff. So of course there was a lot of rounds, and of course there's a lot of L's, but like that was pretty brutal. With how often it happened, at least.
It just yes, Robbie is just I think that's all I want to say about Robbie. He's just really weird in this 5 episodes. And his resolution is so rushed. I was like, okay. And who is left? Oh yeah, Tori.
Yeah.
So
now, obviously, her character is supposed to be a tragic character, but like all her motivations make sense. She's the only character where it's like this shit actually like she's a juvenile. She has a younger sibling. Her mother died, or she was June out of Lincoln. I meant so it's like she has a criminal record. There's like she's in high school, but she's like because of the record, she probably won't get into college, and even if she doesn't get into college, she can't afford it. She was working all these jobs where it's like, so I understand that the only way like for her to actually get like win in her life is to like win this championship, which we know has sponsorships like through Zara, right? The karate sponsorships, like you can fight professionally, this, that, and the third. You can make a name for yourself. So all her shit, all her motivations and stuff make sense.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about Tori. I'll say that much. I mean, I like the stuff with her and Sam in this 5 episodes, and even some stuff with Robbie. Okay, aside from the ending, it's not too bad. I was like, I don't even know what to say about the ending. I was like, all she said was like, oh, it's like she didn't really apologize for just going to the other side, and her final conversation with Robbie is like, "You dumbass got played."
Yeah, he did.
Well, I think she said that because she's mad because she thinks this shit happened with Zara, and she said your dumbass got played because she's like, how do you not have faith in me that I would never do some shit like that? Like I said, like she's the one that established we're on a break. We're gonna figure this shit after the karate contest. Why would I then say that and then go on? And she like you don't have faith in me either. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
it's kind of like when you think your girl is cheating, but your girl actually isn't cheating. Your girl setting up your birthday party. Like you would think I would do some shit like this to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I think she was mad at him.
And then he's mad at him, and that never came up afterwards.
Her in the show, it's like her and Robbie. They've been the most loyal people in the show. Like, especially her. She's been loyal to everybody.
So
outside of the one time where she obviously goes back to Cobra Kai, but again, I understand that. But up until that point, she was loyal to everybody. That she was like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, my thing is, okay. After that, they never talked again. That's literally the last conversation. That promise never resolved, and that's in episode 9. So the entire episode 10, Tori and Robin never share a single scene together.
Well, technically, because they stand beside of each other when Zara's fighting. Is like you choose her over me. It's like
he definitely don't. And then he said, I think he said I always choose her or something like that. Like
I'll always choose her, like something like that.
Yeah, no. Uni. I think that was supposed to be symbolic of like Tori. Again, people leave from Tori's life, like her father, her mother, like this, that, and the third. But like Robbie will never leave her. I think that was
and I also think there's just too much going on, like especially because because Robbie has to fight against Axel, which is like obviously the biggest challenge so far. And then obviously she had to go and prep her fight with Sam, and then all this stuff. Not to mention like her conversation with Kim about like you have all these accomplishments. I think you're like the best female fighter I've ever seen. Do you feel happy about that? Like all the things that you lost, like relationships, friends, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, was it worth it? It's like I understand why. I understand why there weren't scenes of Tori and Robbie together in episode 10 in particular, because I think there was just a lot going on in terms of the Sekatake and all that stuff. So it made sense to me at least. And then obviously that symbolic ending, especially with I always choose her.
I mean, the other thing is that Sam is just a really big cunt to Sarah, so it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more for me. It's more of an issue on the Sam side. I just think she's very underutilized.
And then, and then Tori is like, Sarah's first thing is like, yeah, go talk. And then the other thing is, she literally paid for a drink. Only you respond with like, yeah, thanks for a drink, you dipshit. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I know that she beat you up, but at the same time, it's a karate tournament. You either win or lose. And it's like, why?
Yeah, it's like you could pay for my drink. Do I have to appreciate that? It's all right.
I mean, obviously, like you could think about it, like if you're in a club and some random dude pays for a random girl's drink. Like she didn't ask for that shit. So it's like you like you know what I'm saying? Like obviously be appreciative of like kind gestures, but it's like obviously we've all heard it like kind gestures only from certain people. Like have you seen that meme where it's like a nice joke and it's like sexual harassment or something like that? Like it's like kind of like that, I think.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god!
it's one thing that she doesn't know her.
Have you seen that meme? That meme is hilarious.
I know
Jesus.
I'm not going to say it's hilarious or not for the sake of the camera. So yes, but like, I mean, Tori still has like, I mean, a lot of her interactions just go with either Sam, Quan, or Robbie. And with Quan, it's like, stop acting like we're together, or stop acting like we're doing this or that. It's like
that's the thing. All her shit makes a lot of sense on. She doesn't adopt. She only adopts the Cobra Kai shit so she can win and get something for her own. Like she doesn't actually like them. Like that. Like that's the thing, and it makes sense because I still have friends over on the side where I kind of fuck with them and they look out for me. I just need this for my own shit because again, after this tournament, I have nothing. I'm going to continue working this weak ass job. And I can pay for my brother, or I can go get some sponsorship and become a professional fighter or whatever the fuck she's gonna do. And I can actually support my family like for what I have left. So it makes sense. I don't have to actually like Quan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like, you know, she's having some agencies to try to get him to stop. I mean, obviously he's gonna keep messing with her and Robbie and all that stuff. But like at that point, it's like she's putting the effort into like trying to get him to stop. So it's like it's not like she likes what's happening or like she likes how she's being treated by other people. So, you know, it makes sense. What was the other thing you mentioned about Tori?
I just love like she's just mean for no reason. At like episode 6 to 7, 6 to 8 was like a lot of it just mean for no reason, and then then there's like conflicts.
Her mother
with, like,
just died. Her mother just died.
I mean, everyone has. I mean, quoting Rocket Raccoon, everyone has stabbed people. That is no excuse to treat everyone like shit.
Okay, but like you're talking about frame of reference, like now versus a while ago.
Yeah, but still, it's so
but
weird
like,
because I mean, it's like
the thing is, like, I don't really recall her being mean for no reason. It's either usually like whenever it happens, it's like she's reciprocating it off of somebody else.
All her shit has been
because like for Zara in particular, it's like she was being mean to her because like I already know what you're doing because I heard your comments about like talking about Robbie because obviously she was saying like, oh, he clearly has a history with you or something. So it's like, okay, going into somebody's personal space, kind of a dick move. And then like also like that whole thing about I got my sponsorships, I got my Instagram followers. She was on live stream earlier, so she was like obviously playing up a part. So like I understand why she was being mean to her because like, oh yeah, great, thanks for the drink. But like, but like she's being mean because like ultimately she's like she can already see like what Zara is doing. Like you're trying to be friendly with me, and I don't respect you for that because of what you do. And stuff like that. So it's like I get where she's being mean in that instance. I guess I need to hear a different example.
The thing is, I think you also think about like Tori, she's also only here on business. Like she's not friendly with the Cobra Kai people. The most conversation we have is with she doesn't need to be friendly with anybody else here. She's here for her. Like, and she's already stated that's what she went back to Cobra Kai. Like, if Zara loses, like she lost and she still had she's losing sponsorships, she still has sponsorships. She still is a part of stuff. Like, yeah. So someone said who's the better duo, Robbie and like fighting wise or like
I hope they're not talking about shipping.
I think that meant like in a fight, like because Hawk and Kenny aren't even a ship. Like if they would have like, are you talking about like 2v2v2? Is that what you guys? Is that what you're talking about, Marcus Lee?
Yeah, because like the other two make sense for relationships wise, and then Hawk and Kenny, I don't get at all.
That's why I think it's a fight because
I mean, imagine Hawk and
But
Kenny.
it is Robbie and Tori, I would say. Miguel carries a lot more over Sam. So
because Sam hasn't really been trying to fight, bro. Like it's like
No, I don't.
Hawk and Kenny are decent fighters, but I just think Robbie and Tori are better.
I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna talk about this. Kenny is like the same age as like things. Kenny like did he just get to high school?
Yeah.
So Kenny is way further than Miguel was in season 1 because Miguel.
He said like what? It was only 6 months of training.
Yeah, 6 months. So Kenny definitely has the most potential, but he's not better than other people. And
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Even I was confused. Like, oh wow, a guy who has like 6 months of training is better than the best people in the Cobra Kai. I was like, okay.
Well, you have to think about it. So, like, for instance, like Kyler, like some people are just better. Like this is like it happens. Talent, genetics. Like Kenny's supposed to be extremely fast because he runs and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure
like
Daniel himself was like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, like if we're gonna think about it, like some people just adapt to stuff quicker. Because again, Kyler, in season 3, Kyler beat Penis Breath or whatever his name was in a fight, even though Penis Breath had martial arts training and all Kyler had was wrestling training, right? So the same with like Miguel beating Kyler at the end of the season after Miguel just got off from being crippled, which doesn't make any sense either. We're gonna let him cook. But yeah. So
I'm about to make a name for myself. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but Kenny also has like the whole like, his whole family history and like all that, channeling his anger and all that stuff.
I think his family, like his one of his families in the military. His older brother was in juvie, so like, and his older brother in season 3 or 4, he fought Robbie and like it was even with Robbie, and he doesn't know how to fight at all. So, so now obviously his older brother was like more strength and like being stronger than Robbie, and Kenny is more speed. But it's like it just shows like I think his family is adept at fighting. So
maybe I'm not sure of that. Oh well.
I
mean, my problem is like those are like the best people in the world because like everyone just I just don't like the show that treating the kind of guys like just. Well, it's like a casual karate tournament. Was like, dude, you remember Takata Kai is like the best one in the world. Of course, they have like really strict selection process.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally fighting people who's like been trained since birth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously,
But then by that thing, it should be the Cobra Kai because it shouldn't be Tori. It should because Miguel. Robbie, Hawk, Eli, they all started as like freshmen in high school, so they only had like 3 or 4 years. Like it's like
but those are represented by dojos, not by like country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we seen from Kim's story that she was learning their martial arts as like a little girl and shit like that. So
yeah.
So like I'm just assuming the Korean dojo has like Kwan and them have been there for a long time. So I'm just assuming. I don't know, but.
But that whole like dog cage stuff was really ridiculous, man. It's like
I think it was just like this because I think it was just to get to the point where it's like we need to see that what is it? I think the whole point was really plot because we need Johnny's training style doesn't work or Johnny's coaching style doesn't work. We already saw that Daniel's coaching style doesn't work. So and they also wanted to bring back in Silver. Right, so it's like basically set up the Silver, and that show that they need each other in order to coach their students, and like both styles, like individual styles, don't work, bro. So yeah, that's what it was. That he started like flirting with sexual harassment. Yeah, he just got to that point of thing. Yeah, so
yeah. But it was just funny because like they bring back the guy like the kid that used to bully Danny. To be like Terry's henchman, and that doesn't really matter.
They're just doing that. I think they're just doing that.
This is an Easter egg, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even have anything lined up. He doesn't even say anything.
Yeah, then he has like it's a tattoo of a cobra. It's like, that's not my person. It's like, yeah, I did that because like Danny's just so easy to manipulate with his whole Miyagi past and all that stuff.
And I don't.
Obviously, having the PTSD stuff like that. That was a little that that CGI face was not super great, but it's Netflix budget.
No, yeah.
So
I mean,
I have a question.
I love the part that they literally just like lock him in a cage and literally just search around their faces and his phone and wallet and stuff, and he missed the fact that he missed the thing that would actually lockpick the person, which is so convenient because literally just a kid just walk to that location. That not even Taurus actually wants to be there, mind you. That's what the taxi driver said.
The keychain of Jesus.
Yeah, and just bought it from there. I was like, oh, just a random kid. There's a random plot to fight. Just give him a key to a solution, which the bad guy didn't even take it away for some reason.
So we're about to get to 145, and I have to dip. So, what do you guys have? Any predictions for part 3?
If not, yeah. No, I mean I don't know. They have to resolve everything in 5 episodes, and this is like the final season.
It's like I don't think it's crazy because like honestly, like speaking, a lot of the stuff that they have isn't like super intense. Like it needs more than 5 episodes, at least at the rate that it's going. I do think that there's just too much happening in little time. Like every episode's like what, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that.
I mean, they have to resolve the kind of.
I mean, the last episode I think was like an hour and like 1 or hour and 5 or something.
That was a longer episode.
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot to resolve, like the Quan dying, Takata results, and every single character has to go university and stuff.
This is a rumor I heard, but apparently
will it even continue?
Apparently, the second Tega is gonna like be like a month or something in advance. It's gonna continue in like where the
we need a break, something like that.
It's gonna be like a break, and it's gonna continue in like LA in like the Valley or some shit, and like where they hosted. That's what I heard. And like, there was pictures that Miguel is back in a Cobra Kai jersey or something like that. So he's gonna end up being the Cobra Kai thing since Quan died or something. There's been images floating around. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. I mean, I just want to say we haven't talked about Daniel yet, and like
we covered it.
Like not enough, not good, not much, not as much because it's just so weird.
Yeah. What else do you want to say about him?
I was like, we talked about how he like the dead sensei thing never held any responsibility for his action, like how he's escaped nothing, and it's like he's just got a downgrade when it comes to after like 5 seasons. He got a downgrade when it comes to caring about kids. He's the sad thing is I don't think they even want to focus much when it comes to Danny. He just here when it comes to like, oh, does Mr. Miyagi has like a dark past. I was like, yeah.
Which is stuff we already knew.
Yeah, I was like, and then he was like, oh, he.
Unless they want to fully commit to the butchering of Miyagi, then they can do that. But like they haven't done it yet because they really want to tiptoe right now.
No,
I don't know. I feel like that stuff should have ended in the first part.
And then you ask me, okay, so what does that have to do with him emotionally? It's like he felt sad in the last episode. He beat the guy again. What does that mean? Nothing. I mean, I don't think the death of Miyagi actually doesn't even affect him that much at the final episode. Unless they're actually gonna do a lot more in the next 5 episodes. I don't even know what they're gonna do with that.
The death of Miyagi or the death of Quan?
No, that Miyagi killed someone.
I think Daniel's gonna have basically the thing because he's been the one that stays true to his thing. I think Kreese is gonna figure out Cobra Kai is the way because Quan died, his star people died, and I think Daniel's gonna figure out that Miyagi-Do isn't the way because Mr. Miyagi isn't the same. He's made mistakes, so I think he's basically gonna learn his outlook. Like Mr. Miyagi isn't perfect, so.
Yeah, my other thing too is like, but it's like what Johnny said too. It's like somebody died. It was tied to Miyagi and all that stuff, but like this is back in the time where death was possible in the Sekai Taikai. So it's like you can't. There's just nothing you could really do about it. It was like 1978 or something like that. So a long time ago. And yeah, I guess he got over it essentially.
He got over it in like a single scene. Fuck. I was like, wow, Rush again.
Yeah, Johnny and Robbie don't really talk that much. Sometimes I forget that he's also his dad.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Um.
They did do a good job with Johnny and Miguel. I will say that, but yeah, Johnny and Robbie's kind of not much. He has a lot more with Devin.
But
yeah.
Okay, I have to dip, but it's been good talking, you guys.
Yeah. Don't worry. I think we said everything. It just several more plot issues. Then that's it.
Yeah.
See you guys. When part 2 comes out,
subscribe to Trikage.
Yeah. I have a question. Have you guys done the penguin?
Yeah, that's the last episode.
Yeah.
You guys didn't have me for that episode, man. God.
Yeah, we had a
fuck the penguin. Fuck the penguin. That's all. Fuck him.
You mean the show or the character?
The character. We love Victor Aguilar.
Oh, that yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, I got dip. It's been good talking to Soham and Unity. Good.
Thanks for being here, Shaq.
Okay. Yeah. Then yeah, see ya.
Devin is like the third child, yeah.
I think
so anything else you want to add?
It's just like Terry Silver's plan to just kidnap what's it called? Daniel as LaRusso is gonna be it's like really I don't even know how did he got the idea, and then he just gotta have this elaborate plan from people in Barcelona for some reason. And then and he got all the records. It's like the show forgot he's a fucking criminal. But yeah, oh well.
Yeah.
Of course, the people in like the final brawl just did instead of just picking up the mic and just like, hey, stop the fighting. He just participated in the fighting.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say some notes that I wrote down when I was watching it live. And then anything else you want to add, just do that. So, Iron Dragon's basically not really much to go with. You got a big dude that's getting tortured by his sensei, and he just hates Miguel because he wants to fuck Sam, but Sam said no, and that's somehow Miguel's fault. And then Zara is like fucking with Tori by fucking Robbie. So that's okay. But so again, my whole thing was like I just found we're gonna talk about Arcane season 2, but we're saving that for December because we have to talk about one more movie for this month, and then we'll have to talk about Moana 2, and then we'll talk about Arcane.
I mean, and no, I haven't finished Arcane season 2 yet. Don't ask me.
Yeah. Me neither.
No, I mean, if you want my overall thoughts for like the first 6 episode, it's bad. It's like, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. Because they literally just ruin characters left and right.
Yeah. Episode 10 just got really ridiculous with the whole like the broadcast camera. It's filming everything going on. You even have like to the point where Mrs. LaRusse was like, not again. Watching that.
Yeah.
It's a little funny, but lampshading it is not. Oh, it's like, damn, these guys don't know anything about brawls. Yeah, we've been in a lot of brawls. We've been in perfect here. It's like, yeah, I get it. There's been a lot of brawls in the show, but like lampshading it is not helping.
I mean, and then they just got the Kwang fling into the camera, and I was like, what? They stole that from Death Battle. Like, one of the best episodes of Death Battle, the Power vs. TJ combo. They literally have the guy just like have his head fling to the camera, and the camera cracks and just.
No, it's like it's not just that too. It's like the fact that like so they got to the fighting, all the fighting happened, and they even filmed the death of the kid. That's all on camera and all that the entire world got to see. That's crazy. That's wild. And it's like at no point none of these camera guys were like, okay, we need to shut it off or something like that. And it's like you actually filmed a murder live on television that the entire planet got to see. That's crazy, man. I don't know how that would have been allowed. But I get it. They wanted to get the whole dramatic shut the cameras off. Shut the cameras off, and then that's how it ends. It's like it's nice as a cliffhanger, but like that it's just not realistic. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I liked Devin and Kenny. That was I talked about that a lot. Yeah, and I just found like a lot of heat.
And then the other problem I think I realized is like because remember Johnny is like poor,
right?
And he can just get like instant flight tickets like the next day and instant flight tickets back the next day.
Yes.
That was like fucking hell. How much money do you have?
And that's like you got to factor in. People get tired, man. Like jet lag, murder or manslaughter. I mean, both are bad, but like it in this case, it was attempted murder from Quan, but then he hurts himself. So I guess by definition that would make it a manslaughter. But yeah.
I mean, maybe got the.
But it does depend. Like, if the camera caught, the sword in his hand, and he was trying to throw it onto Axel. It's like, okay, then it's like, yeah, you also filmed attempted murder, and people got to see it, and probably somebody did see it because like they had multiple cameras, so multiple camera angles and stuff like that. So maybe some other camera caught it. So,
that
is there.
I got so bored at the end. I was like, just leave. And then 5 episodes.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it too. It's like that fight was going on for like 7 minutes, and like you even got to a point where they had the geriatric fight of the two old men, Silver and Kreese, and then Johnny just comes in all of a sudden to defend Kreese. It's like that was interesting.
And then they did, and then that lasts for like a few seconds.
Yeah, and that was done. And then it's like, so why is this fight taking 7 minutes? Like, surely there's got to be an end to the. Okay, somebody's gonna die, and then that's how it ends. But yeah, it was dragging quite a bit.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of they have used the time to spend on the characters, or just I don't even think they should. They should not even bother with the Iron Dragon characters. Oh well. I don't really have much to say. Just 5 episodes so far.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole Miyagi search thing was just stupid. Anybody could type up something saying I knew him on a piece of paper. That's not evidence.
No,
at least Silver had like an old looking paper from 1978 saying the records of the wins and losses and the death together. At least like that's like an official looking document. And then obviously after learning his lesson, Danny goes to somebody else to confirm, is this a real ticket? Yes or no? And that was proven. But like, yeah, that's after he learned his lesson. But like, it is just kind of that the initial one happening in the first place was really stupid.
No,
and just meant to keep Danny away.
The escaping this gem, and then the taxi driver Danny told the taxi driver to stay, and he just leaves for some reason. And he just so desperate for the truth. Nothing. Also, what is this day? Isn't that in this day and age, why don't you just get a fucking phone number or something? Why do you use mail?
Yeah, and again, like that whole plan ride thing too. It's like that's like 6 days worth of traveling from forward and back. That's gonna be a lot of jet lag, man. But Miguel is fine.
Pretty much.
Bless you.
I mean, some rules of the tournament are just weird, and there's a fight that literally just drag you from the middle of the air and it's just knock basically teenagers off the stage.
That was entertaining.
Yeah, that was entertaining, but at the same time, I was like, is that even that's gonna risk a lot of health and safety if the children they hit the mat, they're gonna have a lot severe concussion.
That is like that is kind of I believe that is like a real thing though.
What? That was
like,
allowed.
like in terms of like liabilities and like waivers and stuff like that. Because obviously they do have mats set around the perimeter, so it like surely like nobody's gonna land like 50 feet across. They're not superhumans. But yeah, that's kind of what it's there for. I did like it for the especially because of how that especially for the I liked where Devin had to sacrifice herself, tackle one of the girls off, so that leaves another person on like one-on-one on the stage. That was a nice moment. And then obviously we talked about the 2-on-1 Miguel versus two other people, and he won easily. This is after telling like, let me show you how it's done. Usually when people have an ego boost, they're like they get proven wrong, but like Miguel was proven right. So yeah, I'm fine with Daniel checking it out since not many people knew about this whole.
Wait, good lord, this is like textbook example of a trap.
That's mainly it. It's just like
I was like, oh, if you tell us like I know this guy is and here's my address, I was like, if you're not friends with them, it's like this is like textbook example of a fucking kidnapping.
Not to mention the taxi driver just like took the money and went away. He was saying, "Are you sure this is the right address? Nobody wants to be here," kind of a thing. So there's a lot of red flags. That's just my thing.
Yeah, and
again, it's like the fact that it doesn't really have a consequence out of it too. I mean, yeah, they eventually get to piece together that there's this one guy that has a Cobra tattoo that has nothing to do with the actual Cobra Kai team, according to Kim. So they could follow that guy to a hotel, and then that's how we get the silver reveal. Yeah, it's like a few pieces are of the puzzle are putting together, but at the end of the day, there's other ways to do that. I feel like, and not make Danny look stupid. But yeah, that's mainly my thing.
I mean, all they have to do is not just type "I know where he is," just type a fucking paragraph, type a page of like history of, like, we and Miyagi are friends. Just bullshit. That's.
And yeah, it's like, and yeah, the whole brawl thing too. It's like, it's not like a schoolyard where like a bunch of kids are just getting angry and they fight each other and all this stuff. This is a Sekai Tekai, like a official championship league happening, and everybody is beating the crap out of each other, like all that. And I understand, like, different fighting styles, they probably do believe in like control your emotions and all this stuff, but usually in a lot of fighting styles they do have this sort of discipline.
I mean, even boxing teaches you that.
Yeah, it's like a lot of it comes down to self-defense and all that stuff, but like the fact that it gets everybody to start fighting, and then you have like everybody from Cobra Kai versus the Iron Dragons versus the Irish ones, the Russian ones, the Brazilian ones. Like they're all like everybody's just fighting each other, and some of the fights that are happening are not like character driven. Like some of them are just like, they're working together to like they're all working together to fight two other people, and like, back to back, the Binary Bros are back. Kim and Chosen are fighting together. Oh, that's so cool. I actually like Devin and Kenny fighting together. That was nice. Sam joining. Sam is like fighting a few people. Sam joins like Tori's side with Robbie. It's like, I guess, but like that was more deserving on Robbie's part, especially after Zara's like you chose her over me. So that's more weight to it compared to Sam's side. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, like the fight is just really just random bullshit. That Moon Knight meme.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just tracked out. I'm just tracked out after that point. I was like, oh,
DeFarson has a question for you.
I don't even know what that is. So no.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, we said a lot of things.
I mean, I'm just gonna talk about Wicked tomorrow. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. So, once again, thank you to Chloe Bennett. That changes things.
Yeah, but still, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah. I want to thank Shaq again for joining us for this podcast. I do think like it was overall probably mixed. I'd say as a general conclusion that I got out of the conversation. Not perfect, not like garbage, but like, I could definitely see like there's definitely a lot of decline going on. How would you summarize this part?
It's bad. Character damaged. Some are assassinated. Villains are one note. I mean, a few characters are good, but that's not enough to save like a lot of bad things in here. And in terms of Cobra Kai, it's like some weird, like the rules of like you just tap people off, just because fuck it.
Yeah, it's just kind of. I watched all of Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball this year earlier, and like watching all the Tenkaichi Budokais, like and all that stuff. That was really entertaining and all that. But then like going to like a Sekai Tekai, one has like anime stuff and the one is like realistic, but then the realistic one is more cartoony than the anime. That's really funny to me. Yeah, it's just weird. The rules they kind of apply until the last episode, really. A lot of the fights.
Yeah, they said no cheating, honor, blah blah blah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, if that leak is true, that what Shaq is saying, like, oh, they're gonna take a break for 1 month and then make a comeback. That makes sense. I do think from a PR standpoint, you're gonna have to do that. Somebody died on camera.
Or just cancel the entire thing.
There's pros and cons to that usually.
I mean, I just wish they didn't bring Terry back again. They should really just bring Hilary Shank. But
yeah, Arcane we'll have a conversation on that in December
after I finish the last 3 episodes first.
Yeah. I'd say like maybe around the December 9th or 16th range, probably one of those 2 weeks, because we also got Sonic 3 and Moana 2 for December, at least for now.
Does anyone even care about Moana 2?
I feel like we should do that.
I don't know if I feel like it. If I feel like it, because I don't even know if I watch it, I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I just don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Fair enough. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I know like because like Disney they just like kind of shit it out at this point. A lot of this stuff happened like last minute, so that was interesting. But Cobra Kai, I wish it was done. Really, I'm not too invested to like wait until February to see how does it all end. I just felt like with how much of the wait happened between these two parts, like 6 months or something like that, or was it July? Yeah, so like a few months. It's still like I don't think it was like enough. Like, yeah, Quan dying is like it is pretty shocking, and I do see like that carrying some hype for the next part in February. I can see that, but like I don't know. Like I feel like they could have honestly, I'd rather they just do that. Like maybe that be the end of part one. Like that be the end of part one, and then just cut out some of the filler stuff that's been going on, and like kind of filter it so that this is the end of Act One, and then February is the end of Act Two, and whatever you want to do. But I don't know. You'd have to play around with the editing and like enhance like stuff that matter and take out the shit that don't matter.
It's like the Hobbits. That's all you need.
Well, at least the Hobbit, like it has like the material from the book and then all the extra scenes because we need to make it 2.5 hours long. This like 90-page book or something like that.
I mean, it's like even the stuff. I mean, the only good stuff that they added are good. It's like everything surrounding Bilbo.
Yeah, but then like a lot of it is like, oh, this is a part of the Lord of the Rings. See Saruman, see Gandalf. Yeah.
I mean,
we brought back Christopher Lee.
Yay! Yeah. I mean, there's like dragon sickness and shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was Cobra Kai Part 2. Subscribe to Unity Review and Analysis. We keep the podcast here, and we also have the podcast on our channel, Another Reviews Corp podcast, where we talk movies and TV shows once a week. Though we will have an episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
For Wicked Part 1, which also includes stuff from Wizard of Oz, which includes stuff from the Wicked Broadway musical. There's a lot of stuff from the Wonderful World of, something like that. Lord of Ring Gollum. Yeah, so also subscribe to my channel, Another Reviews Corp podcast. Another one. Red Devilos Reviews. I talk movies, comics, TV shows, and video games. I just did a video on celebrating the 20th anniversary of the SpongeBob movie 2004 with my good friend Operation Bagel. Please give that a check out. All of the links are in the description down below. Subscribe to the Trikage channel to support Shaq and my two other friends, Kareem and Drew. They talk about current events and stuff like that. They recently did a video reacting to Kendrick Lamar's new album, so give that a listen. And yeah. And Defrosted Robot, check his other channel that he's going to do for the Arcane Mean Shorts. So yeah, check all these things out, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.